seek, and set. Seek is that persistent seeking of new doctrine, new transformation, and then to set your mind where Christ is, sitting at the right hand of God. Set your mind on things above, not on things of earth. To be, have you ever heard this phrase, heavenly minded, eternally minded? I actually heard someone say once, and I knew what they meant by it, but I've come to never use the phrase because I think it's bad. I've heard this phrase used, don't be so heavenly minded you're no earthly good. There is no such thing. You cannot be too heavenly minded. The whole point of the book of Colossians is that we would examine our lives in such a way as to see whether Christ is a part of every single aspect or facet or category of life that we live. Instead of us putting Christ into a category that we've conveniently called religion. No, Jesus, stay in that little box. I don't want you in any other parts of my life. I call myself a Christian. I have the bumper sticker, the t-shirt, right? I do all the actions. I go on the days that I'm supposed to go and do I accomplish everything I'm supposed to do. But there are then parts of your life that bear no fruit of the presence of Christ because you've relegated Christ to a religion. You've made it into Christianity the religion, not Christianity the way of life. This is the chief problem with Christianity in the world and in the United States today. It's not just some system of religious activity. It's not, it is. But in doctrine in Paul's letters, it's not that. It's saying that everything we do must be heavenly minded. Everything we do must be eternally thought about. There's consequences to everything we do and everything we think and how we apply this information to our lives. Consequences. There's consequences in terms of whether or not people will see Jesus in us or not. There's consequences in terms of what things we will experience while on earth. And, some people shy away. They're like, it seems like the more I draw closer to Jesus, it's like the worse things get in my life. And you know what? I'm right there. The closer I get to Jesus, at times it seems like the more pressure is put on me, the more things go out of whack, everything gets crazy in my life. There's pressure from every angle when I'm doing things for the Lord. When I'm really living that sacrifice life. The pressure's turned up. Why? Well, because again, there's an enemy to your very souls who hates the fact that you live for Jesus. You want to live a radical life? Let Jesus live his life through you. To set your mind, in verse 2, to set your mind, it means that it's your choice on what it is set upon, but it also realizes the need for concentration. So now we have persistence in seeking and concentration in setting. Persistently concentrating, persistently pursuing and concentrating on all the time. And doesn't it seem like that's the way the reality of it is? Just always thinking or having to remind ourselves, oh man, you know what? I'm not being heavenly minded or eternally minded in this area of my life. Admittedly, the words form in the mouth 1,000 times easier than it is to do. But it is present with us to do. It is the present tense here. We are to do continuously this exact thing that he's saying. All we need to do is figure out, listen, where Jesus is, where he's at work around us, and join him. If we set our hearts and our minds on the things where Jesus is at work, we're less likely to be drawn or led astray or apart. Where is Jesus at work? In the church. Jesus is at work in the church. If you're not actively busy, involved in, committed to, serving and all those things, getting discipled or whatever the case may be, in a church, let me ask you please to pray that the Lord would lead you to do that. Become part of a fellowship, wherever it is God may lead you to be, and then support that work with whatever you can, with whatever your gifts are. Get involved and care about that more than any other thing in your life. Yes, you have to do all the other things. But listen, care deeply about Jesus' church. It's his body. For you died. It's not your life anymore. You're dead. Your life is hidden with Christ in God.